Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. We are looking at some early footage here from the beginning of set 10. This is not from the public beta environment, this is from the actual live client. And in this game, we're going to look at a punk team composition. This is a game I played on the first day that the set was released, although I don't think I'm going to post it to YouTube until a little bit after that. Trying to stock up a little bit of extra footage because I'm going to be away. And in any case, though, this game was interesting enough that I did want to showcase what this looked like. Now, I did a live commentary in one of our group games with Punk, which was posted a little bit before this. But this is going to be a little bit different in part because it's on the live client and also partly because this is a post commentary looking back instead of a live commentary. And that means it's a little bit different. Hopefully people won't be too annoyed that this is another Punk game. All right, so here in set 10, the initial portal the games always start out with an initial portal, and this one is going to be all augments gold. That is what I had picked. I was not the one chosen, but that is what ended up getting picked after all. I'm pretty happy with that. I just don't really want to see prismatic. I'm pretty happy with the gold and silver augments. I don't really want the prismatic ones. All right, so I get a gold drop from the first minion round, and then here's my initial shop. I immediately have a Punk Jinx available for purchase in the shop. So I was like, all right, I am going to go ahead and purchase that, and then I'm going to try to look to see, is anyone else playing Punk in this lobby? Well, at least as of the first minion round, no one is. No one is, at least so far. So I'll have to choose to go where from there. But if you can start out right with 4 Jinxes on like 1-3, and then also have pretty good items for a Jinx, that's not a bad way to get started. I'm also going to pick up this Kennen because Kennen is a Guardian, and he'll go ahead and pair with a potential Pantheon when I can find Pantheon. I'm also just going to continue picking up all the different champs and see what I can get here. I'm really looking for the other Punk champs here. And I'm also looking to see if I can get some frontline stuff because Jinx does work pretty well as a carry, but she does need protection. She needs kind of some time to get stronger. She's actually relatively weak at the start of the game. She needs time to scale up off of getting proper items and also getting additional stats via Punk rerolls, which I'll talk more about as this game goes on. All right, we do have some different options here. I see Twin Terror. That's the old Double Trouble. You field 2 copies of a champ. I actually did play that once on the PvE with Punk. And instead, though, I see that this is an option. The, what is this called? I missed the name for that. It went by a little bit too fast. But gives you 2 champion duplicators, which is going to be great when you're looking to play a Punk board. By the way, that Guardian Taric would have been great. I would have happily picked that if it had showed up earlier in the game. But I'm content to ignore that. And I'm going to pick up this Taric. So now I've got a Taric and a Kennen. So I'm going to look to go ahead and clear my bench a little bit here. I actually did have an Annie 2-star, but I didn't really see how I would get that on the board. And I'll go ahead and put a defensive item on Kennen. Not that that's going to do a whole lot, just a cloak. And then I'll go ahead and pick up this Yasuo. It doesn't cost me gold to hold this unit. And having 3 Yasuos out of the pool should be fine. I probably should just have a full bench of 1 cost because anything that's not a Jinx or a Vi being out of the pool is probably good for me. But like, look at this fight. This not even remotely close. This person has 2-star Kennen, 2-star Yasuo already, plus a Aphelios and Senna in the back lines, and they just absolutely tear through my team, which is not terribly surprising. They were level 4, I was level 3. They had a pair of 2 stars. I just have my headliner Jinx. That's it. Yeah, so early on this is probably not going to look so great, but I do have those champion duplicators down the road, which will be helpful to hold on to. All right, I am going to make use of my cheap Punk reroll here. You definitely need to do that every single round. For those who don't know, this is right at the beginning of the set. Let's go ahead and cover what the Punk trait actually does. So this is intended to be a reroll trait. I guess you can play it as like a temporary tempo trait, but it's mostly intended to be a reroll trait because it only has 4 units. Jinx and Vi are 1 costs, and Pantheon and Twitch are 2 costs. All right, here's what the trait actually does. Punks gain bonus health and attack damage, increases by 1% every time you spend gold on a shop reroll. So it gives health and damage, attack damage, not physical damage, not magic damage. So you get additional health and AD every time you spend gold on a shop refresh. And the first shop refresh only costs 1 gold and grants 3% bonus instead of 1%. So the basic idea is you're going to use that 1 cheap reroll every single turn, and then look to go from there. And then, I mean, you can keep rerolling after that, and assuredly you will want to do so at one point. But the first one gets you the 3% bonus, and after that it's only a 1% bonus. Anyway, this fight, I'm just spending the whole fight hitting the Taric with the Gargoyle Stoneplate, and yeah, you can see blocked a tremendous amount of damage, and I didn't kill anything again. So I'm like, oh, this game's not off to a great start. I didn't kill anything again. I can go ahead and put the Yasuo on the board. Happy to do that, just because that'll actually put a unit with true damage trait in play, and so I'll go ahead and pick up the Kennen here. Now, the problem is if I lose this round, I'll be under 10 gold, but I wouldn't mind 2-starring Kennen. Kennen pairs pretty well with having a Senna on the board later, which is a unit that I'm probably going to want to play to try to put rapid fire trait in for Jinx. There's the actual benefit right now. Past self went off the bonus pretty quickly, but I'll go ahead and read it off the cheat sheet here. Again, I wish we had real replays, but I guess we're never getting them in Teamfight Tactics. Right now, 2 Punk is 170 health, 17% attack damage. That goes up by about 50% to 280 health and 28% attack damage. And remember, those are the base values. They're going to scale up as you reroll over the course of the game. One of the interesting things is I have not seen a single Vi thus far. Vi is the other 1-cost Punk unit. It's actually quite good that I have a Punk Jinx here instead of a rapid fire Jinx, because otherwise I would not be able to get the Punk trait in, because and I went ahead and sold the Kennen there. Yeah, you saw I sold the Kennen to get to 10 gold. I thought it was probably important to get to 10 gold. Now what I was going to do is I was going to look to take a bow here, but then I see there's a spatula on the carousel, and I was like, oh, there's a spatula here. Punk is a makeable emblem in this game. The recipe is glove plus spatula, and as it turns out, I have a glove sitting on my bench right now, so I can just go ahead and make that. So my plan had been, I'm going to play 4 Punk, and I'm just going to skip Vi. I haven't been seeing Vi's at all over the course of this game. That was my plan, just skip playing Vi and just play 4 Punk, because Vi is the weakest of the units that make up Punk. But then I see a Vi in my shop, and I was like, oh, okay. Now I can go ahead and play 4 Punk, and I will want to play Vi, because with having the Punk headliner, I can play the 4 Punk units. That's 4 Punk. 4 Punk units, again, are Jinx and Vi, 1 cost, Pantheon and Twitch, which are 2 costs. So that will get me to 4 Punk, and then I will also have the headliner, that's +1, that gets me to 5 Punk. And then I can put this Punk emblem on someone, and that's 6 Punk, which is as high as the trait goes. So again, normally you cannot get up to... normally you can't get up to 6 Punk, because there's only 4 Punk units, and even with a headliner you only get to 5. But if you can make the emblem, which I was able to do here, now I will be able to play up to 6 Punk, and that is quite strong. Actually scales really nicely into the late game. But I will have to try to hit some 3 stars. And remember, I have the double champion duplicators on my bench too. That was what my augment did. It gave me the double champion duplicators and 2 gold, but it was mostly the 2 champion duplicators. So I'm going to sit on them and see what I want to do with these. They are lesser champion duplicators, so they can only be used on 1, 2, or 3 cost units, but I mean, that's fine. I'm playing a reroll comp. Anyway, there's Twitch, so we'll go ahead and pick him up. And so now we are already in a position where we could play 6 Punk, but we'd have to make it to level 6. Anyway, I see the unit that I want to put the Punk emblem on. That unit is Senna. Senna is going to give rapid fire trait along with Jinx, and if I can finish itemizing Jinx, I can go ahead and itemize the Senna as well. Punk trait gives AD, and it also gives health. So you generally want to put it on units that are going to make good use of those stats. Now, an argument could be made, instead of putting it on Senna, you should put it on Aphelios instead, and that's probably correct, because Aphelios deals physical damage and Senna deals magic damage. That said, Senna actually does make pretty good use of the stats, because rapid fire trait gives her additional attack speed, and so therefore having additional AD means that she does hit harder on all of those auto attacks. So she's a good user of a Punk emblem, definitely a good user of the emblem. Aphelios might be more perfect, but I think she's pretty good overall. The other nice thing about her is if I play Kennen as a frontliner, the 2 of them together make true damage. Kennen gives Guardian trait, also has true damage trait. So I'd actually I made the 2-star Taric, and then I also had a Kennen that I think I had to sell to get the item off of him. I actually would kind of like to have Kennen back in now, because I would get true damage trait in for Senna, and she would actually get her bling bonus by virtue of having the Punk emblem. True damage as a trait means true damage units deal additional true damage, that is damage that ignores armor and magic resistance. And true damage units that have an item on them get a secondary bonus. It's called their bling bonus. But since Senna has an emblem, that counts as an item. So she would get her bling bonus, which is cheaper mana. It's 15 less mana for her to cast. All right, so overall, I did lose 4 of the initial 5 rounds. That's not great. It's not something I love, but the potential is definitely there for this start because I'm going to be able to play 6 Punk. Like, there's no question. I will definitely be able to play that. I just need to get up to a high enough level, and I need to be in a position where I don't want to power level to 6 because I want to keep rerolling for Jinx here on level 4 where I have the best odds. But I'm not going to roll down here on 3-1. I do auto level to 5 on the next level, but I'm content to stay here and just continue using my 1 free Punk reroll. I've actually seen a tremendous number of shops thus far because I've gotten 2 shops on every single stage thus far, and I've only seen 2 Pantheons, 1 Twitch. Now, granted, I am lower level, so I don't have as good odds to hit the 2 costs, but yeah, I've only seen 2 Vi's thus far, which is kind of amazing. I am on 6 Jinxes, but remember, I did get 3 of them from the headliner, so I've really only seen 3 Jinxes thus far, too. So not exactly amazing hitting so far, but I do have the double champion duplicators. Technically, if I found 1 more Jinx, I could double champion duplicate it. I would prefer to hold these items a little bit more, but if I lose too much health, I might have to look into using these. I generally don't play a ton of reroll compositions. This is more the territory of Antisocial Monkey, but I have seen a good number of his games, and I have picked up over the years a little bit more about how to play these. The decision of like when to spend your gold is always a tricky one. Like when to go all in and spend your gold, when to keep holding and slow rolling, when to use those champion duplicators. There is a bit of a fine art to playing these reroll compositions. It's not quite as simple as just press the D key to reroll. All right, so here we're going to get the chance to select another augment. I am looking at Harm Assist here. I thought that might be pretty good, but then I see you have my sword, gain a BF sword, all your units gain additional damage, and I was like, well, you know what? This is a composition that's based on, again, Punk deals AD, deals physical damage. I was like, all right, I'll take the extra sword here. By the way, there was an Aphelios if I wanted to move into that, but you saw I sold the Taric so I could play. I sold the Taric so that I could get that true damage benefit in play. Also, I got an extra sword, so I was like, all right, why don't we just go ahead and make Deathblade? I'm fine with that. Deal 8% bonus damage. That's going to be pretty nice for Jinx. It's going to give her a big AD bonus. She'll continue getting more AD from the Punk trait, and then that 8% extra damage is going to be pretty nice. I also get the chance to play another unit, and so rather than play a Twitch, I'm going to play another Pantheon, which I do think is the correct decision here. I could play another 2-star. I could actually play the 2-star Jinx on my bench, but the biggest weakness in my setup right now is frontline. I am not tanky enough, so I'm going to play another Pantheon here, and I really need to find another Pantheon so I can hit Pantheon 2-star. You can see I'm hitting this 2-star Kennen, and Kennen's getting Guardian Shields here. And yeah, I am not making it through that Kennen. So oof, I looked at that, I was like, geez, I go down to 54 health here. That's not looking so good at all. But I finally got up to 50 gold. The one thing about playing Punk is you really need gold badly. It's good if you get a gold start, like fewer items but more gold, because it just takes a long time to get your econ up with you re-rolling every single round. But here we go. That's a huge hit. Hitting the Pantheon 2-star is really, really big. Put the Twitch on the board. Probably should put the second Jinx on the board there, in all honesty. And then I decide, all right, well, I'm going to stop here. That takes me to 7 Jinxes. I'll go ahead and hold here for the time being. I do have the double champion duplicators, but let's wait one more round and see if we can skip out on investing too many of them on Jinx. I would like to have one extra, so maybe I can use it on Pantheon, because Pantheon 3-star would be really big for me. Anyway, though, I am up to 5 Punk. I have 5 out of 6. My plan was I want to hit Jinx 3-star. As soon as that happens, I'm going to level to 6 and put in the Vi for 6 Punk. I actually don't really care at this point if I'm going to 3-star the Vi. Vi would just be in there as a trait bot. It doesn't look like I'm even remotely close to 3-starring Vi, so probably just stop at 2-star Vi and then not really care about that. And then we can stay on level 6 for a while, looking for more Twitches and looking for more Pantheons. Pantheon is the more important unit, but I might as well pick up Twitches while I'm at it. There's no reason not to pick up the Twitches. So anyway, I am on 54 health. By the way, somebody apparently quit the lobby, so I guess that means I'm first pick here. Now I have my choice of what to pick up. And look, there's another spatula here. I was like, do I want the spatula? I thought about it for a second, but then I was like, no, that would be being too greedy. I need a little bit more combat power right now. The spatula would potentially allow me to make another Punk emblem, which would be awesome, but it doesn't do anything for me right now. It's like an investment in the future, and I have lost quite a bit of health. So I wanted to get stronger right now. I really needed a bow for Jinx because I have very little ways to use this rod. About the only way I can use the rod is to make a Rage Blade on Jinx, which is a solid item on her, if not her best item. It's pretty good on her overall. So I'm going to use my free reroll. We do hit Vi 2-star. That's nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and level to 6, put in the Vi, and then I'll go ahead and use the Rage Blade. And then we're going to champion duplicate the Jinx. So we just got much stronger there. Up to this point in time, the game has been a bit of a struggle, honestly. What is that? I've won 2 rounds out of 8 so far. That's 2 wins, 6 losses thus far. But now I have 3-star Jinx with pretty good items. I would love to get her a Last Whisperer because I don't have any Armor Shred in my build right now. I guess Vi provides a little bit. Vi's ability innately provides a small amount of Armor Shred, but she's, a 1-cost unit, so she doesn't bring a whole lot of that to the table. Anyway, I would really like to get a Last Whisper. That's what I was planning on doing with the glove that I had initially. I was going to try to make a Last Whisper, but that did not pan out. I was much better making the Punk emblem than a Last Whisper. So maybe we can get that for the last item. She's going to get a ton of AD from her traits. So she really, with the Death Blade and with Punk stacking up, yeah, right now, 562 health, 56% AD. So she's going to get a tremendous amount of AD from her traits in that Death Blade. She really just needs more attack speed right now. So like Giant Slayer would be great, Last Whisper would be great, something like that for her last item. And of course, I'm not going to be moving out of this headliner. I'll just be sticking with this for the whole game. And we can just stay here on level 6 for a while. We want to grab additional Sennas. We want to grab additional Twitches. And most of all, we want to grab additional Pantheons. That is really the most important unit. Now that I've hit the Jinx, Pantheon is the most important unit on this board because Pantheon is the primary tank. Kennen's going to do his best. Kennen is a 1-star, 1-cost unit. He's just in there as a trait bot to provide Guardian trait for Pantheon and to provide true damage trait for Senna. I mean, if I hit a bunch of Kennens, maybe he'll stay in here long term. We could always look to go up to 4 Guardian or something like that. But, we'll have to wait and see what we end up hitting. There's also the chance to replace him with another Guardian. Amumu is a good choice, in part because Amumu got buffed right before the set went live, got a really big buff. And I'm also going to want to play Vex on this board eventually. Vex is an Executioner, so we'll put that trait in play for Twitch, who has Executioner trait. By the way, this fight's really close. It's a ghost round against a 3-star Olaf, and oh my goodness, Senna just killed that last unit before the Karthus ult could go off. I'm very glad that I was able to win that round because I kind of have a miniature win streak going here. It's nice that that was not interrupted. But anyway, yeah, we're probably going to want to play Vex on this board eventually. And Vex plus Amumu would get me Emo trait. Now a Vi is showing up in the store. I was like, okay, I didn't see any Vi's throughout the entirety of the early game. And yes, I'm going to keep rolling here. Just roll my way down to 50 gold. There's another Pantheon. So that's 6 Pantheons. 2 more and we can champion duplicate it for the 3-star. And that's the most important unit, as I said before, because he anchors the front line. He just needs to stand up there and tank so Jinx can do damage. All right, in terms of items, then look at this. Oh, I get another spatula. I was like, oh, okay. Now I wish I had taken that spatula off the last carousel. I could have had a Tactician's Crown. That would have been amazing. But no, that does not show up there, unfortunately. So I was like, all right, well, we actually have 6 Punk, but I could potentially cut Vi from the comp. If that's one route is if I could get another Punk emblem, I could remove Vi from the build and not have to play Vi. There's a Vi here in the shop. I guess I might as well pick it up. Or we could just, if we're going to be investing so heavily into Punk trait, just put another Punk emblem on somebody good. I mean, I guess we could just play 7 Punk, even though there's no benefit to going beyond 6 Punk. It does give an awful lot of stats. So we could probably just put it on somebody. Otherwise, though, the items are not great. These are not good items for Jinx. They're really not what I'm looking for here. Punk is, again, an AD-based trait, so you really don't want Tears and Rods, kind of the one thing you can't use all that well. But we'll find something that we can do at these long-term. We'll definitely find something that we can do. Pantheon does fall in this fight, but by the time he goes down, Jinx is pretty much ramped up with her Rage Blade and kills everything on the board. And so we're out now to a very nice 4-match winning streak. And I've been able to stabilize here on 50-ish health, because remember, I was lowest health in the lobby for a little while there. But now we're just kind of at the point where we hit our initial 3-star, and now we're kind of cruising. All right, now out of these options, I think remember your roots would have been really good here. Ally sharing a trait with your headliner gain 200 health and 10% attack speed. That seems like it would have been really good. But then I see this Crown Guard. Gain a Crown Guard. Your Crown Guard's start of combat effect is 75% stronger. I thought I had seen something saying that this is a really overpowered augment. So let me go ahead and look this up and see how we actually have data right now. I had seen a post saying that this was a really overpowered augment, and I just wanted to test it out for myself. So I went ahead and took this here. All right, augments, crown guard. Let's see. Nope, it looks like it's actually very mediocre, so that's bad news for me. I had read somewhere, someone was like, yeah, this is really overpowered, but it's actually not. It's just right in the middle of the stats and the data, so this is a good example of why you shouldn't necessarily get fooled by what you read online in forums. Sometimes people have great information there, and sometimes they don't, and this would be a case where this item is, I mean, it's perfectly fine, but it's not, it's not a terrible item for Pantheon. It will make him tankier. It's going to give him a shield at the beginning of combat. Gain a 30% max shield for 8 seconds. When the shield expires, gain ability power. But he's not really a unit that wants ability power, so it's not a great fit for him. Would be better on like an AP tank, a champion that deals magic damage or gets a lot from AP. Fortunately, it looks like this is still enough to win from this round. But I think that thing that would give everybody, all the units that share a trait with the headliner, 200 health and 10% attack speed. I think that would be really nice because what is this comp? It's all about gaining attack speed. So the attacks with 6 units to benefit from Punk trait, that would be really nice. All right, anyway, so we're continuing re-rolling here, seeing what I can find. There's another Vi in the shop, so I'm up to 7 Vis. Like I said, I was planning on maybe dropping Vi from the team composition, but this is an awful lot ofVis here on the board. So I was like, all right, well, you know, if I'm just going to hit the Vi naturally, like maybe I can invest my 1 champion duplicator in the Vi. I also had the chance to do Ionic Spark, but I was like, that's magic damage, no. And Adaptive Helm, I think I can do better than that. I think I'd most like to get another Cloak here to do Dragon's Claw on Pantheon. That would make him really tanky against magic damage. And oh, by the way, here I am up against the Olaf board. This is the board that I very narrowly beat. They actually have 6 Bruisers in and a Bruiser Augment. They have something that causes Brooders to explode on death and deal damage to units near them. So Pantheon's hanging in there. Kind of wish he were a 3-star unit by now. But as I said, I'm still on 7 Pantheon, so I'm close to hitting some 3 stars. But of course, my board has, I wouldn't say fallen off, but it's not as strong now as it had been a little bit earlier. I'm going to have to hit some of these 3 stars to continue increasing the, and continue scaling up my board. We kill everything except Olaf, but unfortunately are not able to get the Olaf. At least that person's pretty broke. They're down on 10 gold, level 8, whereas I'm still at 50 gold in the bank. But in any case, we have another carousel here. And look at this. There's another spatula. I was like, oh my god. Can I get that spatula and make Tactician's Crown for the +1 unit? I mean, it's right there. Only one person can deny it, but yeah. That person, Captain Puff, decided to deny it. So I was like, all right, well, I do want to get use out of this spatula. I mean, I could try to make an emo spat with the tier. I am going to be playing into emo trait eventually with that Vex and maybe a Mumu. But let's not go crazy here. Let's just make another Punk emblem. And I can put it on Vex. Now, Vex does not make amazing use of Punk because, again, Vex deals magic damage, and this is an AD trait. But, okay. And then I see that there's another Vex in the store. I was like, all right, well, let's put Vex on the board. That'll get Executioner trait in play. Here we go. We'll go up to 7 Punk here. Again, does not do anything, but we'll just hang on to that there. And then I'm going to roll a little bit. There's another Vex. So I have to dump something here. I was like, I don't have room. All right, I guess I roll past this. And then I see a Vi, so I was like, you know what? All right, we'll just champion duplicate the Vi. I need to clear out bench space. I still have good odds of hitting Pantheon here on level 7, whereas the odds for the 1 costs are really starting to go down. If you look at my shop odds there, 19% for the 1 cost, 35% for the 2 costs. So that's why I think it makes sense to champion duplicate the Vi. It clears out the bench space that I desperately need. And I also have, I just have better odds to hit the 2 cost than the 3 cost right now. So if we're going to play Vi on the board, and honestly we might as well, she is a 3-star unit, might as well go ahead and use that champion duplicator. So I used them both, but I'm pretty happy with how I used them. It allowed me to get Jinx up to 3-star quickly and then get up to level 6 so I could play 6 Punk. And then here it allowed me to clear out the bench space and get the 3-star Vi. So yeah, 7 Punk. I could definitely cut the Vi from my comp for a different unit, but I mean, as a 3-star unit with the humongous Punk benefit, I don't know, it feels like I can't really do too much better than this, at least not easily. All right, so there's the Pantheon, and then now I was like, geez, I wish I'd gotten that Pantheon 1 round sooner. I definitely would have used the Champion Duplicator on the Pantheon over the Vi. So, whoops, that is the one downside. Now I'm still stuck on Pantheon 2-star. But Pantheon 3-star is going to come eventually. I only need one more. Like I said, I have 35% odds here on level 7. I don't think Pantheon is being played too heavily on other people's boards. I think I've seen a couple of them out, but I don't think anyone has too many. Yeah, that person's playing 6 Guardian, but they're actually not playing Pantheon, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, this person's board is very tanky, 6 Guardian, 3 Emo, but they don't really have much in the way of damage. The 6 Guardians is going to be really good in the mid game. It is going to fall off in the late game unless this person can get some more damage. Unfortunately, Vi did not get her ult off. That would have been nice because she would have gotten the armor shred on that Amumu that's being super tanky. That might have made a difference in this fight because Pantheon does get taken out. This is a very close fight. But let's see how many of these Jinx can kill. Can she get them all? I'd really like it if she would target the Annie. At least Vex got off another fear there. It's like, no, don't shoot at Seraphine, shoot at Annie. No. Got all but one unit and then came up a little bit short. So I was like, that's a bit too bad, but oh well. All right, in the meantime, though, we're continuing to stack up units here. The Amumu headliner would be nice, but I can't move out of the Jinx headliner. And how close are we getting? So we're on 8 Pantheons and 6 Sennas here. I'm going to get my last round of items. So I am probably looking to itemize. We want to finish itemizing Pantheon. We definitely need to get one more item on Pantheon. And then the question is, who else do we put the items on? I guess I'm next closest to, what? I guess, aside from Pantheon, I guess I'm next closest to the Senna. So in theory, I should itemize her. I'm getting a bunch of tiers, though, which is absolutely not what I'm looking for. Definitely not what I'm looking for there. And then the last item on the bench is the Anvil. So I'm going to roll here. It's like, Senna. Well, I have to play the Senna. I actually should have sold the Twitch, or not sold the, should have sold the Kennen here. Because at this point in time, I was like, all right, let's go ahead and move out of the Kennen. But you saw I sold some Twitches there. So now I'm on 8 Sennas. And there we go. We've hit the 3-star Pantheon. That's the most important unit for us to hit. Now I've got another emblem here. I could make another, Gargoyle Stoneplate, but I don't really need 2 of those. What I really need to do is find a way to use these tiers. So I was like, all right. Okay, let's go ahead and make a Spear of Shojin. I think that this should probably go on Senna, in all honesty, because she's really close to being 3-starred. And then I was like, no, it's not Ionic Spark. Evanchild. Okay, that works. Evanchild. 30% sunder enemies within 2 hexes. That means that it is a 30% armor reduction. And then I go ahead and make a... what's the name for that item? An Archangel Staff as well, so Vex will scale up during the fights. Again, these items probably should have gone on the Senna, in all honesty, because she's so close to being 3-starred. I only have 5 Vexes, but I have 8 Sennas. And Senna also does benefit from Rapid Fire trait as well. So that was maybe a mistake in terms of which unit to itemize. For the moment, Vex is better because Vex is a 3 cost and Senna is a 2 cost. By the way, I might as well pick up these Twitches while I'm at it. I decided I was going to roll down to 20 gold here. I really was trying to hit this last Senna, and I said, all right, I'll go to 20 gold. I did not actually end up hitting it, though I did hit 3 more Twitches. Unfortunately, I sold some of those Twitches when I was running out of bench space there. Always one of the issues with these reroll comps is making sure you have enough bench space to fit everything in. But yeah, so we're still on the 7 punk here. And what else? We have Emo, Executioner, Guardian, and Rapid Fire traits. Since this is early in the set, I should probably cover what these traits do. I already covered Punk. Emo it's a mana reduction for units. It makes it easier for them to cast. So Vex is going to cast more often. Executioner trait is it's basically the old Assassin trait without jumping in the back line. Units gain additional critical strike chance, and their abilities can crit even without having Infinity Edge or Jeweled Gauntlet. And then Rapid Fire is stacking attack speed. Goes up over the course of the combat. All right, well, we seem to be relatively stable here. Again, we've still got the 6 punk benefit in. That is going to keep going up every time I reroll. Now, I probably need to sit here and rebuild my economy at least a little bit, but I would really like to hit this last Senna. Again, I'm really close on the Sennas. Just need 1 more here, and that would definitely help a lot. So I could get my, my 4th 3-star unit of the game. So I also should probably spend a little bit more time scouting some of these other boards. Oh, and I need another item for Jinx too. I've been trying to get another Jinx item, but the item components that kept dropping were so many tiers and rods and tank items. Nothing that would really be a good fit for Jinx. So like I said, I'm really hoping that I would love it if Giant Slayer was like the last item I could get on the carousel. That would be so good against this board, the Olaf board. This is another Ghost round, but like Giant Slayer would be amazing here against this person who's playing 6 Bruisers. This board is very, very tanky, but doesn't basically just has the Olaf for damage. I guess they are trying to itemize Karthus as another damage threat. So like this board is super tanky, lots and lots of health, but that's not going to scale too well into the late game. This is more of a top 4 comp than a win the lobby comp. You can see now that my board is scaled up a bit, whereas they have kind of not really gotten that much stronger, I'm kind of tearing through this board. Although I guess it was a Ghost round. Ghost rounds are kind of buggy, so who knows if the actual fight would be that close or not. I do have a chance to take another item off the carousel here. I would love the Last Whisper. It's on a Ziggs, though. I actually do have 2nd pick here, so I was hoping that that would stick around. That would be really nice for another form of armor shred, so I was heading for that. But unfortunately it gets taken. So I was like, all right, out of these other items here, I could take the red buff. I actually don't have a source of healing reduction on my board, but I just don't think that item is all that good. And I think that with me already having a Rage Blade, it would be a little bit silly. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Quicksilver Sash instead. This is actually a pretty good item. It got buffed at some point in time on the public beta environment. By the way, I'm going to roll down to 20 gold again here. Can we find the Senna? Well, I'm not finding that, but I am finding Twitches. I'm up to 8 Twitches now. So again, we'll stop at 20, and then I'll probably look to roll again, maybe after the minion round. I am also on 7 Vexes, only on 2 Amumus though, and that's because one of these other people in the lobby is playing the 6 Guardians board. By the way, I'm hitting this comp again. Yeah, there's the Quicksilver Sash. It's what is it? 30% attack speed, 20% crit chance, and immunity to crowd control for the first, I think, about 15 seconds of combat. So it's a quite a good item overall. It does mean that if like Zac tries to jump in the back lines, Jinx will not get crowd control early in the fight. But yeah, she's looking pretty strong. So here's the non-ghost round test of how we match up against this board. That Evan Shroud on Pantheon is doing a tremendous amount of work in this fight because pretty much the entire enemy team is right there next to him. And it provides the armor shred. So we actually win this fight pretty easily and knock this person down to 14 HP. Yeah, they just don't really have a damage threat other than Olaf. So that's not so great. All right, I'm going to use my free Punk reroll, and the Punk benefit is really starting to get up there now since I've rerolled at least once on every single round. You do have to be careful when playing this trait not to just run your econ into the ground. It's very tempting just econing, running yourself down to 0 gold because you're rerolling so much. It's a little bit like when you have Trade Sector, which is one of the more common augments. This person, though, here, Adenim, this person looks like the strongest person in the lobby. I was hoping I would not hit them because I'm on this pretty big win streak. But no, I do end up hitting them, and that's because they've gone ahead and hit a 3-star Misfortune. Misfortune is a 3-cost unit, so that's a 3-star 3-cost. They've also hit a 3-star Kaisa as well, so it's a big shot team composition. And they also have a Tactician's Crown. I guess they ended up getting some of those spatulas off carousels. So this fight's close. Vex gets off the fear. Can we finish off MF? But oh, nope. Nope, super close, super close. Unfortunately, Jinx went after the wrong target. So I'm not able to win that fight, and my win streak comes to a close. Now, here's the good news. That person is level 60 gold. So yeah, they have spent all of their gold. They did hit their key 3 stars, but they're not going to be getting too much stronger. They do have the augment that means shop refreshes only cost 1 gold. So that's kind of nice with them. But they're just not going to get that much stronger considering that they have no money to spend and they're only level 6. So their board is somewhat capped out at the moment. Probably not going to get too much stronger. Whereas again, I'm 1 off Senna 3-star, 1 off Twitch 3-star. If I had either of those units, I'm pretty sure I win that fight. Or maybe even if I just had a Mumu 2-star. For whatever reason, I can't find a third Mumu here. As I said, there is somebody who's playing, I think, a 6 Guardian board. So I think that's probably why they have some Amumus out of the pool. Anyway, though, again, now that Jinx is fully itemized, we're looking to get an item probably for Senna. Senna's probably the next unit to itemize. Vex is fully itemized. Or Twitch. I guess we could go for Twitch. And there we go. There's the 3-star Twitch. So now I'm going to continue rolling. Can I hit the Senna? Just looking for that Senna. I will grab... There's the Amumu, at least. And I was considering how much further to keep rolling. I really wanted this Senna. There we go. So now that I've got the Senna, my thinking was, all right, do we... And by the way, here I was looking to get an item for Senna, but there's really not any good Senna items here. Maybe I should have taken like the Steadfast Heart for Vi. That would actually make her a lot tankier. But I was like, no, Senna's a 3-star. Let's get her a unit. Again, none of these items are really what I want, but I have no sources of healing on my board. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Morellos. It's not a particularly good item on Senna. This is not like some of the past sets, not like set... what was the last set? Set 9, where her ability... She was a legendary and her ability would hit like the whole board. But she does fire a little pulse when her ability goes off, so it has some minor AoE that will put a healing debuff on some of these units. Like I said, not really what I was looking for, but I did want an item for her because I think she's my next strongest unit. And there wasn't anything... Look, there wasn't anything that was particularly good for Twitch either. So just trying to make the best I can out of a set of rather poor choices from that particular loot box there. All right, anyway, now I have the choice of do I keep rerolling for Vex or do I try to get to level 8 and play another unit? And I think I decided I'd hold here for the moment. Look at those bonuses, by the way. 900 health and 90-something attack damage is the benefit there. That's looking pretty good. It is down also to just 3 of us in the lobby now. At least I don't have to hit the MF 3-star for the moment. I'm up against this person who was playing 6 Guardians earlier. By the way, they have a 2-star Vex on the bench. I believe they're transitioning their board at the moment. This is a board that's pretty tanky, but does not have a ton in the way of damage. They still have an itemized Annie, who's a 2-star 1 cost, and then they have an Ari that just has a Gunblade. So they're very tanky. They do have a 2-star Yorick, and that's a legendary unit up there that's well itemized. But aside from the Yorick, there's not really that much to this comp. So once we bust through that front line, you can see, yeah, I do think I hit them when they were transitioning their board, so that's kind of nice. But they did also spend all their gold. They're down to no gold in the bank whatsoever. Anyway, I will go ahead and continue holding money. There's Yorick. Yorick seems like he would be a great unit to put in. So now I have this question, do I want to play Yorick or do I want to play the Poppy? And I guess I decided to hold the Yorick for right now. Yorick has the, and I went ahead and played the Yorick, that's right. Yorick goes ahead and puts a Mosher trait in for Vi, which is not something we're really playing through in this game. He also gives me another Guardian, so that's pretty nice as well. So I'm going to go ahead and make use of him, and hopefully we can find the remaining Vexes. I also decided I'm going to overload the right-hand side. I know that I'm going to be up against this Jazz board. Unfortunately, it's a ghost round, but I wanted to put my units over here by Misfortune, because I was hoping that they could hit Misfortune a little bit earlier in the fight. I was also hoping that maybe Vex could get a Fear off on Misfortune or Kaisa. It's a ghost round, though, so any damage I do is not going to carry over to the actual board. But it looks like Vex did get off a good Fear, and once again, I just cut through that board pretty easily. Still, I do no damage to either of them, because, again, it's a ghost round. But, yeah, that person, I do think that I'm getting to the point where I'm stronger than that board, because I have quite a few 3-stars. And then, by the way, look at this. There's another Punk emblem here. I was like, oh my god, another Punk emblem? I mean, I could take, like, there's a good case to be made to just take the Thief's Glove, because that would get me up to 8 Vexes, so I'd only be 1 off Vex 3-star. But I was like, no. Let's take the Punk emblem. We can put this on one of our units. And as soon as I see the Punk emblem with double Poppies, I was like, I think it's actually better to play Poppy here than Yorick. And the reason why is I think I can actually 2-star the Poppy. I don't think I can 2-star the Yorick. So I decided, let's go ahead and play this. Poppy's going to make really good use of the stats on Punk Emblem. She is tanky plus AD, and so she's going to really make good use of that extra health and extra attack damage. By the way, now we're also up to 6 Amumu's. But yeah, I'm gonna play the Poppy because I think I can 2-star her, whereas I don't think I can 2-star the Yorick. I'm only level 8, so I have very poor odds to see more Yoricks. So I'm going to move out of the Yorick and move into the Poppy because, as I said, I think she can make use of the stats on the Punk Emblem better, and I'm much more likely to 2-star her. Okay, so anyway, yeah, look at Poppy. She's going to be swinging her hammer around. So we're back to the, the Misfortune 3 board. As I said, I think this is definitely the strongest comp in the lobby right now. But we're going to get the Fear off. Good job, Vex. And that's going to be enough to win that round. And it looks like my Ghost is hitting the other person's board. Note that I'm losing pretty badly in this round, which is, again, a sign that the Ghost round boards are really pretty buggy. Because I'm pretty sure that I'm stronger than that other player. I beat them pretty easily the last time I hit them. By the way, there was actually another Yorick there, so maybe I could have gotten to Yorick 2-star, but the odds were not good to hit Yorick 2-star, whether they're pretty good to hit the Poppy 2-star. All right, so this person has 4 Vexes. I currently have 7 Vexes. So between us, there's 11 out of the pool. That means there's still 6 more. Or no, I have 8. So there's 5 more Vexes in the pool. I have pretty decent odds to hit that last Vex if I can get a little bit more gold to roll. There will be another round after this. Neither one of us can get eliminated on this round. So we're definitely going to level 7, or stage 7. And that's why I'm okay with locking this shop. That gets me to 7 Amumu. So I have decent odds to get a Mumu 3-star as well, if that's what pops up in the store. Anyway, once again, this board just doesn't really have that much damage. Again, it's pretty tanky with that Yorick. And again, I wish Jinx were focusing the Ari, not the Yorick. Annie is just not a unit that can carry this late in the game, and that person still has 3 items on Annie. I mean, I guess she did the most damage in that fight, but she needs to be a 3-star if you're going to be relying on her at this stage of the game. All right, so now we know what the plan is. We're going to get an item off this dragon, and then we're going to roll down, look to see if we can hit Poppy 2-star, Vex 3-star, Amumu 3-star. And we want to roll all of our gold, because remember, every single time we reroll, we get a little bit stronger on our Punk units. And by the way, we have 8 Punk units in there. Every single unit on the board. What is it? Oh, no, not every single unit. Amumu does not have Punk. But 7 of the 8 units are getting the Punk benefit. Every other unit's getting it. I guess that's why Amumu's so emo. He's not getting the Punk benefit like everybody else. All right, let's roll down. Can we hit these units? Not much so far. Well, there's the Vex. Okay, that's pretty big because Vex is well itemized. There's the Poppy. 2 more Amumus. 2 more Amumus. Okay, not going to hit the Amumus. And then we have a chance for 1 more item here. I was like, I guess we're going to put something on Senna then.
Nashor's Tooth, I was thinking that would be pretty good, but then I was like, Guard Breaker. After damaging a shield, deal additional damage. Well, this is a Guardian board, so they're nothing but shields. That's going to be really effective against this person. And let's see what the Punk benefit is. 1,016 health, 101% attack damage. That's on every single unit except the Amumu right now. Yeah, Jinx has 275 attack damage. Even Senna has 195 attack damage. This is pretty wild overall. So this fight is not even remotely close. My whole team is still alive. I think they killed 2 units there. So this is going to end up being a very, very comfortable first place. And yeah, this Punk team just got completely out of control. So long story short, it turns out that if you are completely uncontested on Punk, and what's up with this recording? Did it throw the size of the window off? That's really weird. Okay, that is very weird. Anyway, but back to my point. It turns out if you're uncontested on Punk and get 3 emblems, it turns out to be really strong. Who would have known? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you again soon.